Hi guys, it's Amy from Little Farm Quilts. Let's get the camera steady here for a second. How are you? Today is Saturday, March 7th. You'll notice I'm in a different spot today. I'm back up in my living room. If you have watched me for a while, you know that this is probably the exact same spot where I filmed every one of those 31 videos for Maynia in May. Um, I came up here to film today because it's a bright sunny day and I just wanted to be up here filming. So, welcome. If this is the first time you join me, welcome back. If you keep watching, I'm utterly amazed and thankful, I think, at the comments that I get every post that I put up. So supportive, so kind. Um, yeah, just thank you. It is fun for me, and it's fun for me to read your comments and feel like I'm connecting into a stitching community. I still have yet to do that here locally, but I'm putting myself out there a little more, so I'm trying to figure out where there are some stitching groups and where I can join in and maybe go to a retreat sometime soon. We'll see. Um, but like I said, today's a sunny day. It's a little on the cool side. Tomorrow's supposed to be warmer. I'm looking forward to tomorrow because for a couple reasons. But my bees should be flying tomorrow. So if they've made it through the winter this far, it's supposed to be up in the 50s here and they should be out flying. So I'm hoping to go back there sometime tomorrow and check and see flying bees, because I know it sounds weird to say you're hoping for bees, but that means that the hives have made it through the winter just fine. Coffee. It is, I think, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Matthew and I have had a busy day so far. So I guess I should say this because they've started to say these in a lot of floss tubes that I'm watching. This is a channel mostly about cross stitch and sewing. There's a little life in here, a little beekeeping in here because I'm a honey beekeeper. And so if you want to skip past the life updates, it's usually right in the beginning. So just scroll past until you see me holding up something. You know, I try to put timestamps in, but I'm not always real super good at that. So anyway, today is Saturday, March 7th. And let's see, it was busy this week. I feel like mine and Matt's work lives are super busy right now, to the point where you feel like you're running 100 miles an hour all the time, which means by Friday night, you're stinking exhausted and sit on the couch all night. Well, I came home from work yesterday and this is my birthday weekend. So I used to pay no attention to birthdays. I just did not care about my birthday, to be quite honest with you. And then I hit 50, and I think every year that I go where I'm healthy and functioning and still working, still able to do the things that I love, like stitching, beekeeping, spending time with my family and my grandkids, I'm thankful for. So for my birthday weekends, I usually just do some things that I really enjoy, make time for me and self-care. And I think this weekend I got home last night and I'm like, you know what? I'm not sitting in front of the TV all night. And I got up and I went downstairs and I finished a bunch of cross stitches. So guess what I got to show you today? A bunch of FFOs, which I almost never have. So we're all good. I almost never have. I still have one, two, probably 4 or 5 cross stitches that are finished downstairs that are not FFO'd. So that being said, last week, as you guys know, because I put a video out last week, I was on vacation. The week before this one, I got a ton of stitching while I was on vacation. Now I'm back into my work full-time mode, so I'm stitching probably an hour and a half in the morning, maybe a little more depending on whether I slept in or not. Probably an hour or two at night, and doing some sewing as well at night. So that's and I do take cross stitch to work. I usually try to stitch on my lunch. I eat my lunch at my desk, which sounds counterintuitive, and then I stitch during my lunchtime. So a lot of days. That being said, So, Matt and I were really good about being in a workout routine every morning at 5:30 every morning until we hit the holidays. Then we got out of that routine. And although I would love to lose weight, um, I never lost a ton of weight when I was working out. I got more fit, uh, and felt better about myself, and it was managing stress really well from my job. We got out of it over the holidays. It's just like everybody else. You get out of things over the holidays. Um, we This week was the first week that we got up at 5:30 every morning and worked out, except for Thursday. I wasn't feeling the workout, but we worked out that night before dinner. So, and I decided to do a harder workout that night because I don't know if it was punishment for not getting up at 5:30 in the morning, but I don't know. I felt like I needed to give an effort. So we ended up working out 5 days this week. We don't try to work out on the weekends. Our weekends are usually pretty busy with chores, and I want my sewing and stitching time. So I figured 5 days a week is enough. Um, so we did it this week. We had a good week, and every day we worked out. So I'm really super thrilled about that. That does take about a half hour out of my stitching time in the morning, so I feel like I'm getting less done. But I also feel like as I progress in my stitching, I'm stitching faster. So I don't know how that's going to work out. And I don't honestly know if going into the good weather, if I will have enough stitching to show you every week, or if these videos will go every 2 weeks. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But overall this week, we got home last night and I decided that I wasn't going to sit on the couch. I was tired, but then I needed to do some stuff. So I did go downstairs and get some stuff done. Felt good about it. We got some errands done today, one of which I am going to show you. Yep, I've got it here. And then tonight, oh, guys, we got rid of cable TV. We have been talking about it forever since the kids moved out, that we really don't watch a ton of TV. And a lot of times now I'm watching YouTube, not TV. So, and he is not watching as much TV either. So we have been talking about getting rid of cable, because why pay all that money for cable when you don't watch it? So we finally decided this week was the week and we were going to do that. So we spent, no kidding, 30 minutes waiting at a Spectrum office to turn in our boxes from our TVs, which we had 3 of them, to cancel our cable. There were 2 cashiers there and probably 15 people waiting. And for some reason, it takes the longest time to do this stuff. We waited 30 minutes and it literally took her 90 seconds to take the boxes and cancel our cable. But it's done. So we did that. Then we decided to go to an Apple store. We had an old iPod. I think it was the original iPad that came out. And it wasn't functioning really well anymore. So we took it in along with some of our old iPhones, because they were having a trade-in deal where you get money for everything you trade in to buy a new iPad. Because what Matt and I say every time we travel, we need to get a new iPad so that we can both watch movies together on the plane. Or I can at least listen while I'm stitching, for crying out loud. And we've been saying it for a long time. Well, today was the day we decided that we were going to go do that. So we ended up going to an Apple store, which was much better customer service. And we were actually in and out of there in relatively quick time with a new iPad. And we saved ourselves about $120 with the trade-ins. So there's that. And then guess what I did today? I finally made time to go to my local needlework shop. So this is the one that's most local to me. I live near Rochester, New York, not very close to Rochester, New York. But if somebody out there knows where Rochester, New York is, if you go a little bit east of there, that's where I live. I found a My mom had told me about the shop, and honestly, I have not had time on Saturdays to go. I have more time on Sundays to go, which this shop is not open on Sundays, nor is some other things. So I made time today. I told my husband this morning I really wanted to try to make it to this needlework shop today. So I did. I went to a local needlework shop, and I could have stayed in there all day and spent way too much money. Way too much money. And I know it's my birthday weekend, and I could have spent a lot of money in there, but I didn't want to. Yeah. So now I'm doing the Flosstube. Tonight we have dinner with some friends, and tomorrow I'm hoping to sew a lot of the day and get some quilts done. So, I know I'm all over the place so far. I'm sorry I don't have a list today. I'm kind of working off the cuff. But let's start with the FFOs. Just because I want to start with the FFOs. So I'm going to show you this one first. This was Quaker Pumpkin. And I made it into a pillow. And then once I stuffed it, I thought maybe a pillow wasn't the best thing for that. I made it into a pillow thinking I have a quilt shelf that this could sit on in the fall, and it would be totally pretty. But I think you lose the fact that it's a pumpkin by making it into a pillow. But I'm going to leave it. I may do something with it. This back I did, it's all whip stitched together, and I'm going to applique something on top of this, which I haven't gotten to yet. This is fabric from All Hallows Eve. Let's see. So my husband's going to come in the door here for a second, so we will have to just tolerate that as it goes, because I don't want to edit this. But this is an FFO. It's Quaker Pumpkin. I think it's the Stitcher Hood. Put this pattern out, and this was a finish. The next one I have is Suffragette. All I did was I put this in a frame that I already had. I put some batting behind the stitching so that it had some poof to it. I put a ribbon here that I tied the center in. I don't even know if you can see this. It's this trim, looks like a measuring tape. See, you just heard hubby walk in. I warned you. But this is a finish from last night. This is the Suffragette. This was a stitch along with stitching with the Sisterlies, and I have completed it. This was one of my finishes from when I was on vacation. And let me set that aside here. And the other finish I want to show you, I think this is the last finish I have, but it's a biggie. Remember I talked to you guys about Snow Village and what I was going to do with the shutter in Snow Village. So I took the shutter and I dry brushed it with some white chalk paint. I'm going to see if I can show you guys. And I've mounted the Snow Villages that I've completed on this. Let me see if I can get it better. And see, there's plenty of room for all the other Snow Villages. I measured it out. But see, I've got the main piece at the top. I've mounted these side by side going down in just a big black plaid bow. And this is going to hang right in my living area, and I really like it. I'm kind of a plain Jane when it comes to finishing things. I'm not too flashy, if you know what I mean. Let's see, what else do I want to show you? I think that's it for that, because that's everything that I FFO'd. So whips would be next. I am part of the 2019 Designer Mystery Block of the Month from the Fat Quarter Shop. I'm at block 9. And that's this pattern. This is what I got for block 9. I took it out because I'm afraid in the sun of the living room it's going to glare. And I did finish block 9. And that is done. So that's good. I'm catching up on the sewing area. I don't have a lot of time to sew. When I go down to sew, I'd like to do it in large chunks of time, and I haven't had large chunks of time, so I haven't been down there a whole lot. I'm hoping today and tomorrow. I'm also doing those of you that are cross-stitching the Bloomtopia charity stitch along, there's also a quilt along that they release patterns on the same day that the cross-stitch pattern comes out. And I finished release 2. I have release 3 cut out downstairs, but not sewn together yet. I was kind of hoping to have it sewn together before I did this Flosstube, but it just has not happened today. But this is the tulip block, and I finished that right after I got back from vacation. I had it cut out and all ready to go, so when I got back, I sewed it right together. And I guess now we're on to whips. Boy, that seems like a fast. This might be a short video today. Maybe I'm talking at the speed of light. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. So I started this while we were on vacation because I ran out of stitching that I took with me. This is Hello Spring. It is by Stitching with the Housewives. And I'm doing the DMC because that's what I had access to while I was on vacation. And I've done a little bit of stitching on this week. Let me get this needle out of the way here. And I've started the chicken. I've got the cup in, started the chicken, hoping to maybe finish this weekend. I have the other 2 patterns that go along that they've released as well, Crunch and Peep. I haven't started stitching them. I want to get some things done before I go ahead and do that. Let me show you Bloomtopia since that's what we were... I do have release 3 stitched on Bloomtopia. And I'm using the called for colors, as you know, and the called for fabric. Which I believe is, let me remind everybody, the called for fabric is 25 count Lugana. And there's that. I've got release 3. It actually, each release is only taking me, well, everybody else is saying it's taking them 30 minutes. It's taking me more than 30 minutes, I think, because I get distracted with what's going on around me, so I don't know. It must be just because I get distracted, or I get up and do something else, or I can only sit so long, so I get up and do something else. I also got the next part to Snow Village, which is called Popsicle Cart by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I started this. And I have a good start. Let me get rid of my floss. So, does anybody else do this? I know everybody else has those floss buddy things. I have thought about making myself some floss buddies, but honestly, having this nest of threads just seems to work for me. Let me know what you guys do, because I just pull threads from it as I need it. This is, let me get the needle out of the way on this one as well. I've got a decent start on this. Only had a few hours of stitch time on this. But I have the tree, the top border, and I've got the top of the popsicle cart going, and some of the snow on the bottom. Doing the snow on the bottom is not my favorite part. I think because it's white, and I'm not... Sometimes I have issues with white, sometimes I don't. I'm going to show you these stitches really up close. I just think the stitches don't look as perfect, and I've tried the whole railroading thing that Kimberly does on Fat Quarter Shop, and I'm not sure. I don't know. I just think they don't look as perfect as maybe the others, but I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing things. Let's look in the top of the popsicle cart here. Can you see? I don't know. I think white is just a conundrum anyway. But here's my thread nest again. Do you guys have thread nests? I have one in each one of these bags. Every one. Because it's a project in process, so... Has anybody started kitting up stuff for Maynia? I have. I was talking to my husband about Maynia on the way home today. And I think, judging on the whips that I have right now, it sounds to me like I might be doing 15 new starts instead of 31. But we'll see. I had another plan, and I'll talk to you about that in a second, but we'll show you how that's not going to work. So the next whip that I worked on this week was my Long Dog sampler. This is a sew along with 2 Martini Stitcher. It's called Long Dog Leap Day Sale. This was a Leap Day start. And you guys know I picked Cardinal Points from Long Dog. It's a collaboration between Gentle Art and Long Dog Samplers. This is it. Let's let it focus. Is it gonna focus? Maybe not. Let's see if it focuses. There we go. Maybe. I don't know. That's it anyway. This whip has been a problem. I started it on an uneven linen while I was on vacation, and I did not like the way it was looking. And even though I was in Texas, where I was in Texas, I was nowhere near a needlework shop. But I had a Hobby Lobby. So I went and got 14 count Aida because they didn't really have a huge selection of fabric, and restarted it. So I had it restarted on 14 count white Aida. So then last week after my Flosstube, and I apologize because this is going to have a hoop mark in it. I don't normally work in hoops, but one day I was finding it difficult to stitch for whatever reason, so I put it in a hoop. Anyway, I had it started on 14 count white Aida. I decided I needed to cut this piece of Aida down to the size I needed it for the project because it was just this huge cumbersome piece of 14 count Aida. And although I like a lot to hold, I don't want that much to hold. So it was just becoming cumbersome to work with. So I went to cut the Aida down, and don't you know I mismeasured and cut it short. So there's no way on earth that where I started the Long Dog, that was going to fit anywhere on that piece of Aida. So then I decided, well, let's redo again. So I had bought a piece of 36 count Winter Moon Edinburgh linen. And I forget where I picked this up. I think it was 1-2-3 stitch. And I restarted the Long Dog. Now, I was asked, and I sent it to her. I was asked for my DMC conversion for the chart, and so I sent somebody my DMC conversion of the chart. If you're interested in the DMC conversion, because what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to spend a fortune doing all Gentle Arts threads. And I liked the DMC conversion when I put the threads all together. If you look, I like the bright colors of it. So I was okay with using DMC. I will spend money on overdyes when I feel that it's necessary for the look. But honestly, if you look at the sampler, most of the areas are pretty small. And it's not gonna, but most of the areas are pretty small. So to show a lot of variegation in those areas probably isn't going to happen. So I was totally okay with going with DMC. Plus, you know, DMC is a perfectly good economical way to cross stitch. If you've got money invested in overdyes, which I have a ton of overdyes downstairs, and I could have substituted some of them in, but I tend to save them for the smaller projects because, number one, they're a little more costly, and I'm trying to be efficient. I do keep adding to my overdye collection, but this is a big project, so I just went with the DMC. If you are interested in my DMC conversion, and I actually went and matched threads, matched what the Gentle Arts was going to be as close as I could to a DMC. So I'm hoping it turns out okay. If you're interested in that, let me know below. I will, or private message me. Over on my Instagram. You can send me an email at alittlefarmquilts@gmail.com. If you're interested in my DMC conversion, I will send it to you. It was a lot of work to go through, and if I can save somebody else a lot of work, because there's a lot of flosses in here, that's great. But anyway, I restarted this over on this 36 count linen. And this is an even weave, it looks like. Maybe not completely even weave, but more even than what I had before. And so I'm not as far as I was when I had restart, but I do have the corner done with the dragonfly, and I've got some of this green border going in here, and I am hoping to work on this again at some point this weekend. I had put it in a hoop because one night I was having a huge issue. I think it's the lighting in our living room, to be quite honest with you. Once we get to linen, in the living room is a hard place for me to stitch. I would be better off going into my sewing studio, to be quite honest. But I was having a difficult time, so I just put it in one of those, these spring hoops. I don't know what everybody calls them. I call them a spring hoop. I had picked one up and had it with it just in case I was going to need it, because my eyes are old and they don't always see the best. But I like how it's looking. I actually like how it's looking on the linen much better than I liked how it was looking on the Aida. Although I have to tell you, I stitch pretty fast on a 14 count Aida. I can get a project done pretty fast. But this is a long-term project anyway. And like I said, this is a stitch along. It's called #Long Dog Leap Day Sale. It's never too late to join. If you have a log dog in, join and go to follow at 2 Martini Stitcher on Instagram, and you can check her out on YouTube. I like the bright colors in this, and if you've seen me with my quilts, you know that I like the bright colors in general. So there you go. And that's all the whips I worked on. See, the whips I work on, the count goes way down when I'm working full time, because I don't have a lot of time to stitch. Eventually I will be retired, and then I'll have all the time in the world to stitch. And I probably won't get any more done. I don't know. I don't know. So I have more haul coming in this week. I actually have a lot of haul coming today and Monday, just because of the timing of things. So my Fat Quarter Shop Floss Fix will be here on Monday. I signed up for the Stitch Quarterly through Fat Quarter Shop. That is supposed to be here on Monday. I signed up for the Prim Stitch Along that's going on in Fat Quarter Shop. I have signed up for I'm going to do that. I ordered Prim is a cross stitch pattern by Lori Holt. I ordered that. The pattern's supposed to be in today. That will be a new start this weekend. And this is why I'm not going to do 31 starts, but I did want to show you something. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Sorry, I'm out of frame, guys. Give me just 2 seconds. So I had this idea for Maynia this year, and I keep going back and forth because I have so many patterns I love, and I just acquired more. I had bought this Christmas calendar by Tiny Modernist. I bought the pattern, and I had started it. I think towards Christmas, actually, I started it right here at 9. The idea is I have a plaque that I got. I believe I found it at Walmart. That's a countdown to Christmas. So I was going to stitch all the numbers up separately, finish them all separately, and have them go on that thing at Christmas time to count down to Christmas. That being said, that's all well and good. That would be 24 starts if I did them all separately at Maynia. So I didn't really want to do that. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put it into my stitching rotation. I follow along with the Housewives primarily, the Stitching with the Housewives group. They can be found on YouTube. They can be found on Instagram, Facebook, and Priscilla's blog is priscillas2000 at blogspot.com. I think I'm going to have to put it in like my Santa Sunday or Merry Monday stitching. And I'm going to put the Jack Frost Tree Farm that I had started, which is a long-term project, into the rotation as well. And not have them as part of Maynia. And so just so I can keep going on these, because these two have not seen any love in quite some time. And I would like them to feel some love. I have a couple whips in my bin that I am going to remove and rekit. So a couple things I'm going to do, and I decided this morning. I have this Jardin Privé. It's trees. I don't even know how to pronounce this, but it's trees, and I really do love this pattern. I had started it in Maynia last year, and I am stitching it on this linen, which actually looks like, no, this is not even weave, but it's darn close. This needs to start getting some love. I really like this pattern, and I think it just needs to start getting some love. So I think I need to somehow add that to rotation as well. And I have another one that I gotta think about what I'm gonna do on this one. I think this one I'm gonna rekit. So, because I really like the pattern. The pattern is Be Thankful by Country Cottage Needleworks. This was a Maynia start. And I just got back into cross stitching a year ago, and this is being done right now on 14 count Ada, and I believe it's natural. I don't know. And this is what I have done. And I'm trying to decide whether to rekit this on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco or to leave it on the 14 count Ada. But as I'm thinking about these whips, I'm thinking I may only have, so there's 31 days in May. I may take my whip count, subtract it from 31. Okay, this is video take 2. I'm going to splice this in with the other one, but I was talking about Maynia. My plans for Maynia are to take my 31 days minus my whip count, and that's how many starts I'll have for Maynia. So I have worked on kitting up some starts. I think I've shown you guys 2 of them. I have more to add, and then I went shopping today, so I have even more to choose from. So we'll see how this goes. I talked to you about the rotation, so I am going to work on the rotation to get more whips done before we hit Maynia. But it is what it is, you know. I by no means have as many whips as some people that I'm watching, but I would like to have less than what I have. So, especially going into Maynia, because I really want to do Maynia. And I still don't know whether I'm going to record every day or maybe do a weekly recap. Last year for Maynia, I recorded every day. Even if it was only 15 minutes, I uploaded it, and that's how we went. And I may do that this time. I don't know. I think we went Facebook Live every day last year. I will do them directly on YouTube this year just because everything I've consolidated on YouTube now. And last year I combined both cross stitch and sewing projects. This year it's only going to be cross stitch. And my sewing projects are my sewing projects, and I still have sewing projects, tons of them from Maynia last year that I'm working on. So I feel no need to incorporate that in. Does that make sense? But you know, it is what it is. So the only haul I'm going to be able to show you today are a couple things. Number one, I did get this in from Fat Quarter Shop. It was a daily deal. It's the Sew in Love quilt by Edita Sitar, and I think I may have shown you this. If I did, I'm sorry. I just love it. And I'm not really, I like the reds and whites. My husband does not like the reds and whites, so we may pick a different color to do this in. And I think now that I've said that, I remember showing it to you in the last video. So sorry. It's not. My mail hasn't come, so I'm not able to show you Prim. But I did go to my local needlework shop, and I got some things. I got Little House Needlework Spring ABCs because I've been wanting the ABCs. They had all of them, I believe, and I only picked up the one because I can go back and get the others. I got Land of Liberty by Brenda Gervais. I've been wanting that chart for a while. And I got Bovinia by Plum Street Samplers. This is one Chelsea from the Housewives stitched up, and I liked how it looked. I may change these colors, I may not, but just in case, I got some colors to add to my stash. I got Classic Colorworks River Rocks. I got Classic Colorworks Cinnamon Toast. I got Jakey Brown. It's not focusing. And I got Toasted Marshmallow, which I think I might already have downstairs, but I thought, oh, what the heck. And there's only one more haul thing I'm going to show you. So I found this in passing, and I decided to sign up for it because I wanted to see what it was all about. Sweetwater Fabrics has a quarterly box. You can go to their website. I believe it's just Sweetwater, thesweetwaterco.com. Well, I can't show that to you because it has a coupon that came in the box. But they have boxes. And I signed up because I wanted to see what it was. So I've got this card. I'm going to show you this side because I can, which these pillows automatically got me very excited, right? It says, hello spring, hello flea, where you are, the temperatures are rising, the grass is getting greener, and the sun is getting brighter. It's a wonderful time to refresh with the coolest of all colors, blue, which is one of my favorite colors. We designed a panel with 6 18-inch blocks that feature all shades of blue. You can choose to make 6 pillows from the entire panel or change it up and make zipper bags or organize an office space by making super fun canvas bins. On our samples, we added texture with hand stitching. It's easy and fun and makes any project even more special. We have included extra canvas and fabric to help you create any project you wish. A quick note on this box. We generally include fabric from a new collection. Due to production schedules outside our control, our newest collections won't be released until later this spring and summer. Thank you to Moda for helping us produce this exclusive panel just for our Sweetwater customers. Our June box will include a new collection and feature fat quarters and pre-cuts, which already gets my heart singing because I like Sweetwater fabrics. Matter of fact, those are the fabrics that we used in the tree quilt sew along that I did over on Facebook and uploaded to YouTube. So I got that card. Here are the project sheets that are in here for all the things that they say you can make with the panel. And I haven't opened this yet. You can see the hand stitching that they embellished it with there. Inside the box, there's a little brownie brittle treat. There is a panel that I have not opened yet. So let's open. I didn't want to open it and then get it all over the place and messy before I did an unboxing kind of thing. Really not an unboxing as much as it is. I just want you guys to know what your options are. So you know the Moda tape, I actually save this and I use it. I use it in drawstrings for bags. I use it, it really comes in handy as embellishments. There's no way I'm going to be able to show you all of this panel, but let's see if I can open it up and show you parts of it. So there's a piece of coordinating canvas. Let me see what's the best. Okay, so here's a block. Hold on. Here's a block. Let me see if I can do this. Here's a block. And I think I will make these into pillows because I was actually just thinking the other day how our couch needed new pillows. Can you guys see that? So that came in the box. I forget even how much this box was because I ordered it so long ago. I think I ordered it when I got wind of the one that came out in December and what was in those boxes, and I ordered it because I wanted to see what came, and I paid for it then, and then so that would have been 3 months ago. I have no idea how much these cost anymore. I'd have to go on their website, but I am signed up to get the new one. We got another coordinating fabric to use. It's almost see the stitching in here? Yeah, it's nice. And it's nice quality fabric too, and a blue solid that coordinates with it. And I really like the box. I like the box. And I will most likely make these into pillows for my living room just because I need to refresh the living room, and that will work well. But there's directions in here to make all of these things. Zippered bag. Yeah. It's awesome. I highly recommend it. So I have directions in here to make a canvas bin, true blue pillows from the pillow panel, a zippered bag, and a star towel. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good value, to be quite honest with you. Although I don't remember how much I paid. I don't think it was an exorbitant amount of money. I might have to, if I can look it up, I will put it in the description box below. But it's at thesweetwaterco.com. That's their website. So go check them out. Go check out their boxes. I do think it's a good value for the money, because it couldn't have been a ton that I paid, because you know me, I don't pay a ton for much of anything. So, but I do like it. I really like this box, so I'm excited for the next one. I'll have to keep you posted. I think that's it for me today. I'm looking around, and I think that's it. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is try to splice these two videos together and get something uploaded for you. Thank you for joining me. I do very much appreciate all the comments, and it's just super fun. So thanks for coming along the stitching journey with me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.